All right, good afternoon, guys. So I'm sorry I didn't drop the video yesterday. I had a lot of real life activities to do, so I couldn't, do the video. All right, so let's start. So I just wanted to tell you guys, or rather show you guys, reasons why last week wasn't good. And then, because after everything, I had to study immediately. I had to study what was going on, and then I figured out what happened. So the market wasn't so great last week, but I hope none of you play your accounts. So yeah, let's start with GU. So first of all, I had this cell set up over here. I'm going to tell you guys why it's failed. So you guys, sometimes a setup, price might give you a setup that will teach you a lesson. I mean, like rules that you never knew, or maybe rules that you didn't really take seriously like that. There are some losses you take, and then when you study it, you see that that trade was just a trade that was just for that was going to just teach you. There are trades that teach you. So for me last week, all throughout last week, the trades that I had, they were all trades that taught me one or two lessons that I didn't really know about before. So let's analyze GU and then see what happened. So first of all, on the weekly time frame, the current structure, we are bearish, right? But the retracement leg is still very bullish. So we cannot just start selling because prices are premium. We have to wait for this structure to shift, right? We have to wait for the structure to shift first before we even consider, selling down. So looking at the current structure, now let's look for the current swing. So right now, price is in between here and here. So yeah, so now after price broke this high, made a higher high, it was okay to expect a retracement to 50% or to the discount zone. But as we all know, or rather as I know, price doesn't always get to the 50% and it's okay. So when there's a POI that's in between that's in between the premium and discount zone, it's okay for price to just, like this POI now, it's in between premium and discount. So it's okay for price to just tap on it and reverse. It happens. I saw this stuff, but the reason that was why I didn't really feel comfortable taking this because there was a sell here on the hold on, let me do this off. So there was a sell here. Mm. All right, there was a sell here on the daily time frame, a bigger sell. This sweep is not the best. I mean, it's too far, but yeah. So this setup here, I wasn't really comfortable taking it anymore because because price already tapped on this POI. It already tapped on this POI, so I felt like there was a chance it was going to keep buying, which I drew the structure for you guys and then I set it on my Telegram, I think 2 weeks ago or something. But when price formed this small setup, I was like, okay, I mean, this setup is not far, so maybe I can risk on this. But there was something, I mean, I've seen this particular rule before, but I didn't really take it seriously until after this stuff happened. So why did this setup fail? And what should we have seen to, really validate this sell? On a normal day, look at the structure. So price has the structure here, 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 here. So price breaking for me, price breaking this low tells me that, we are ready to sell. But there are some cases where if price should break out this low, we're not supposed to sell until here. And that was why, Dax was saying this particular, I think that was why he was saying this particular loan needs to be taken. I don't know. But yeah, but I feel that's why. But anyways, so I went to study what happened and then I have this rule, but there are some rules where because maybe you've not taken a lot from it, or maybe because you don't really trust it like that. Just you have the rule, but you don't take it seriously until you have a loss. Sometimes losses are good because it makes you stick to your rules. So I had the sale and then I posted it, but it failed. Why? Because If you look to the left, you can see this very clear structure, a type 1. And and then this low is the structural liquidity for the type 1. It is not a normal low. Assuming this setup wasn't here and price took out this low and did this, yeah, I would trust this setup more. But because price, has this setup, this setup, so price breaking that low on the daily time frame was not a market structure shift. Instead, it was more of price taking out the structural liquidity to tap into the POI and buy. I wouldn't have even taken the buy. The buy is risky, but you normal if you have this type of setup, don't go and say you want to take the buy because what if price now actually takes out the buy? So in this case, it's best to sit out of from both the buy and the sell until everything is clear. So seeing that this low, if this setup should fail, it means that we'll likely sell. But um price took out this low, it was not a market structure shift. Instead, it was just price taking out the structural liquidity. So whenever you have a type 1 set up to the left and then the structural liquidity low is also a low that can cause a market structure shift on daily time frame or whatever, it's best to allow the whole setup fail first. If this low was taken out, there's a high chance that that sell would have held. Okay. So for me, with what was happening last week, I was like, is it the whole news flying up and down between different countries, Donald Trump saying different rubbish and all that? But to be honest, I know deep down that the market follows, I'm sorry, news follows the trend. News follows the trend. The only news me I know I'm scared of is Trump. And the fact that he was saying a lot of stuff, I just felt like a more market can decide to, do one thing. But even though he said stuff, there will always be signs that the market will show you that okay, do not participate in this side. Participate. So for me, I believe that the market's news follows the trend a lot. So seeing this setup here and price taking out this low, it is not a shift. It's just price sweeping out structural liquidity. So you have to wait for price to, take out this low, take it out. That is when you can participate in the sell. Otherwise, what we have is just a normal setup, a normal, setup. And then that was why the sell failed. Now let's head over to, so now this rule, obviously, seeing that, okay, I've seen that on the charts, look at what can happen and all that. And I had this rule before, but obviously I'm going to note it down very well. So you guys, trading, you can't be perfect in trading. Because you took a loss does not mean, oh my God, let me go and hang myself or something. Sit down, study that loss. You might not get it that day. You might not figure out what happened that day, but if you keep showing up, which is what I always do, whenever I analyze a trade that doesn't go well, whether I took that trade or not, so long as it's a trade I would have taken, and then maybe I ended up not taking it, if it goes well, I will study why, because there are some trades I dropped that they fit my rule, but I will now see something and I'll say, okay, let me sit down. The trade will go well. I will sit down and study why did this trade go well? Why did I not participate? Was it me being scared and all that? And there are some trades that you want to take or you take and they end up in a loss. As at that time, that trade might be looking like an A plus setup, which was what this trade was looking like to me. But studying and seeing what happened, I now found out that okay, I was on the wrong side of the market. I should have waited for this low to be taken out, but I did not. So whenever this markets, nobody can see, it's only someone that can literally see the future that will be very perfect at trading. But there's nobody that can actually see the future of where the candlesticks are going and all that. So whenever you take a loss, don't kill yourself or don't say you're not trading again. If you sit down, for me, I don't believe in because I see some people say that there are some times you take a loss, it's okay, the markets, like losses happen, it's okay that it's okay not to figure out what happened. It's okay that you didn't see any reason that sometimes losses happen. For me, every single loss I've taken, I always end up finding out the reason why that stuff was a loss. I always do. And it helps me. I will never, if I take a loss and I don't know why, I'll be restless, like mad. Or if I analyze a trade, whether I took it or not, and it doesn't go well, I'll be so restless. I will be thinking about that setup every single time until I figure out why. And I always figure out why my trades went bad or went well, and I didn't take that good trade. So yeah, that's that for this particular setup. And I feel like this other one might fail. I'm not going to take it. Might fail because assuming, price took out this high, we had something like this, right? And then price took out this low. it would have made more sense to keep selling to discounts. The reason I was considering the sell, like I said, is because of weekly had this obvious sell structure, or even on daily time frame as well. And me, I've studied and I've seen that you should always follow the current structure. You should always, pay attention. Let me show you an example. Like for example, now this GBP odd, we're bullish. I mean, very, very bullish, right? But if you check here, you can see market consistently making obvious sell structures. So there was a setup around here. I didn't take it. I was going to take it, but the moment price tapped on the discount zone or the premium zone, I deleted my whole setup and all that. Because I cannot say because we're at discount of this whole buy that we must buy, we must keep buying from here. I want to see price, break the last swing of the current bearish retracement leg. Because this is just a retracement leg actually. The only time we're fully bearish is when price takes out this low here. When price takes it out, that's when, okay, maybe we want to sell long term. On the daily time frame, it's really clear there. So why would you be buying? Because price is at the discount zone and you feel like it's automatically, it should break out. At the time there was this setup, it should break out this high first before you confirm that, okay, we're actually very bullish. Any setup you want to take, any buy should stop at once price taps on the premium, leave it alone. So yeah, so that was what I felt was going to happen here on the on GU. But assuming price took out this high and did this, yeah, I would have been very much comfortable taking this sell up. But I feel like it's not going to hold because price just literally did. So price just did this. This didn't take out this high, so everything here is seen as one leg hand, which I drew out this stuff for you guys on my Telegram. So that's why I didn't want to take this settle. It was looking bullish. But assuming let's say price didn't take out this high, right? But assuming it formed like, GBP AUD, it had like, let's say another, maybe I would have tried to sell here until the first one was taken out. But the fact that it just had only just one of this, it doesn't really guarantee. It's best to sit out of the first structure and wait to let's maybe get another one before you start participating in the sales. Come on, I want to quickly check something on GBP AUD. All right. So yeah, that's that for GU. Now let's go over to GBP NZD. I had so much faith in this GBP NZD, but this trade was just a lesson to me that this particular rule, I never knew about it before. You can study every day, but you might not, always see everything every single time. There are some trades that are just there to teach you a lesson, which was for me. That's how I saw. I wasn't even playing about this particular loss. I wasn't at all because as at that time I was following my trading rule, but here. So when this setup failed, I know some of you had a buy. I knew some people that were telling me, oh, that my buy, that my this setup. So someone was telling me my structural liquidity is my low is structural liquidity, blah blah blah. That this low is structural liquidity of another blah 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 blah. But me, I've studied very well and I've been able to know when to take a trade, when it is structural liquidity and when it is not. So in this case, this trade was a very clean trade. This first one, I took the first one, it went well. This second one too, it was a very good trade to me as at then, but there were signs that I didn't know of as at that time. So immediately price took out this particular setup. I knew 100% this one would be taken out because if price really wanted to buy, this one should have held 100%. Price has no reason coming back here, even though it is a structural liquidity or blah, 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 blah below. There are cases where you can still take it. Anyways, so immediately price took out this low. I knew that people that were saying, Zara, you structural liquidity, blah, blah, blah. I knew that this one, every price is going to take out this whole thing. Because price wanted to buy, it should not even take out this particular thing in the first place. So obviously I didn't take out the one down because that one was an obvious red flag. So why did this setup fail? As at that time when I took the loss, I was confused. I was like, I really had faith in it because type 2 for continuations are really, really amazing. They're really, really good. I trust type 2 for continuation more than I even trust type 1. And I've seen scenarios where, it plays out a lot. So what I found after I took the loss, I was restless. I was like, what happened? What happened? What happened? I really had faith in this setup. What happened? Everything was there. Everything I needed to see was there. So as me and my guys were studying and trying to make sense of it, we now came up with, we saw that, okay, whenever price sweeps a high and you go one step lower, and that setup is still, that high is still a sweep, any setup you have as price, and then price has tapped, the premium zone and is, coming back like this. Any setup you have will likely fail. If we have a sweep, this is a daily structure. This is a daily structure, right? You have to be careful with what time frame you map that structure as, because if you make a mistake, you get your analysis wrong. So that one is for people to go and study by yourself to know how to identify what time frame, belongs to what setup, and what setup belongs to what time frame, or what structure belongs to what time frame. That one you can study by yourself. So this is a daily structure, and if you go lower, it's still a sweep, meaning that assuming you from here, this is a daily setup, and you go lower as a body break, yeah, go and study, get a lot of example, look for this particular stuff I'm saying and see how many times it fails. And this was a sweep on the lower time frame as well. Just know that for price to be a sweep on the higher time frame and still a sweep on the lower time, it tells us that buyers, like, they are really tired. The chance of them continuing is really, really low. But assuming on the daily time frame is a sweep, on the 4 hour is a body break. So you can study and refine the stuff by yourself. This is the highest I'm going to say about this particular stuff. So yeah, as at that time I actually did not have this rule. I've never seen this stuff before. I felt like, sweep, and so long as price has not changed the trend, keep by. But after studying, and I got a lot of examples on this stuff, I saw that whenever you have a sweep and price has even retraced with the discount and all that, and it's coming back, if you have a setup like this, it will likely fail. It was so unfortunate for me that all the setups for last week for me were just lesson setups. The same exact thing happened on Eurocard, and thank God I didn't take it, because I mean I would have taken it, but the way it was so aggressive moving, I felt like, oh my, price would take me out. So I just didn't even participate again. But it failed. It's a setup I would have taken. So I was curious, why did this guy fail? Like, why? Now, if you see, we have obvious sales structures on. Yeah, we have obvious sales structures. And then instead of price to make a lower low on the daily time frame, he swept it, right? And then he swept it, yes. If you go to the lower time frame, it's also a sweep. What does that tell you? Price did not make a lower low. It just did a sweep for that can reverse price. There are sometimes if you take a sweep, come back here and still sell. Instead of you gambling this whole sales here, it's best to just, sit out and wait for it to make another lower low with a body close, then you can keep selling. So one of the signs of a possible reversal is when you have a structure on this time frame and you go lower, it's also a sweep. Just know that chance of price selling is low. So like whatever setup you have is going to fail. Price already tapped on premium, even sweep this one self, you feel like, okay, super sweep, so we should keep selling. Mm-mm. So study and know how to refine it. Yeah, I've already studied and I already know how to refine this whole stuff. So study by yourself, and but this is the much I can say on this stuff. Sweep, lower time frame and all that. Just know that price selling, if you have a sell, especially around this leg after price has even tapped premium and it's coming down to make a lower low. Most of it to make a lower low. Instead to make a higher high, higher low, right? Okay, to make a higher low. That stuff confuses me, sorry. It's to make a higher low, and this was exactly what happened on GBP NZD as well. Where is it? GBP NZD, where are you? This was exactly, it swept, so it came back to this consider it to make a, higher high, it made a lower high, yeah, lower high, and it reversed. Euro card, same thing. Odd card, if you check, there was a time we had a sell odd card. Let me show you guys something. Now, this structure looks like, okay, we were bearish and we're going to maybe retrace to discount because I think price was, no, I think the overall structure itself was even sell. So many people, even myself then I thought, okay, we're going to, sell and go down and blah 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 blah. But what happened? Instead of price to make a lower low, it swept it. Daily time frame structure. On the 4 hour, on the 4 hour, on the 4 hour, right? It was still a sweep. Imagine a higher time frame, a sweep, a lower time frame again, a sweep. What does that tell you? That more price still selling is low probability. What happened again? Price swept it. Instead of it got to the premium, we even had a nice setup self. There was this other nice setup, but there was a setup I took around here, which on a normal day, I think we did. That's a then again, I didn't know that setups, that one is a rule, another different rule self. So taking this setup here was bad. So now let's say you want to even take this setup here, right? Price will most likely not make a lower low. So as price has retraced to premium, you're trying to buy price. if let's say the price swept this one now, and you're thinking, okay, it has swept here, so like, no, what will most likely happen is a reversal, especially after it has start premium, it will come make a lower high, no, higher high, higher. Okay, sorry if I'm doing this stuff, forgive me because I really this stuff confuses me. Anyways, it will not make a lower low and it's going to reverse. I've shown you guys three back-to-back example of the same exact stuff happening. What does that tell you? If you see that type of stuff again, run. Don't say there are sometimes it will take it out and but it happens less often than this pattern, than this stuff happening. So go and study it to know how to refine it very well. Me, I've studied it and I already know how to refine mine very, very well. I think I've tried for you guys and I've said enough. Now, German 30. Mm, let me even show you guys another setup. Hold on. Let me show you another back to back where this stuff. There are sometimes where price will give you your back to back wins. Wins want to kill you and choke you. There's also sometimes where price will give you trades that will just teach you lessons. Don't vex because you took one loss. If you know you followed your rules. The only time I get very hot and I like very, very angry at myself when I take a loss is if I know deep down I didn't follow my rules. That stuff will pain me. But if I follow my rules and then I, took a loss, I'm not even going to care. I mean, not that I will not care, but like it won't pain me. I mean, there's nobody that will take a loss and still be smiling, yes. So I will not be happy, but I won't be down. I won't be over like, oh my God, I took a loss. Blah, blah, blah. So what will be on my head is what happened? What happened? What did I miss? What did I miss? What happened? And that having that kind of mindset will make you be open to learning, not judging the market and saying, as I last week I was because all the setups that I had last week, to me, as of last week, they were all A plus setups, right? So I felt like is it news? Is it Trump? Is it Trump saying rubbish again and all that? That's how I felt. But like I mean, deep down, I know that news follows the trend. News follows the trend. So I was open-minded and I sat down to study my losses. I didn't just conclude bad markets, bad week, bad blah 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 blah. So it's unfortunate that this month has not been really great for me. I'll not even lie and say, oh my God, it's the best month, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. But I'm happy. I'm even happy that I'm even learning from my losses. I'm so happy. What I hate is when I take a loss and I don't know why. That thing hurts me so much. So the fact I'm even learning from my loss, so long as I've not blown my account, so long as I don't over risk, so long as I'm following my rules, it's okay. It's very okay. Everybody takes losses. So long as you go and study your losses and know why, you're good to go. Don't kill yourself. Don't judge. Don't say, oh my God, trading is not for me. Be open-minded. Now, this is a 4 hour structure, right? There was a buy here, a very nice, amazing buy, type 2. Type 2. Type 2 buys are good for continuations. Type 2 for buys, if I see it, I will take it in my life. But then I didn't know. I saw this setup, but yeah, let me show you why it failed. So then I didn't know as well what happened. So look at this setup. 4 hour sweep, right? Let's go to the daily. I'm sorry, let's go to the you all see me. I don't use all these 2 hour, 45, all these weird time frames. I just use 1 hour, 4 hour daily, weekly. I don't know if you use 4 hour and then you go to 2 hour. I don't know. So that one is for you guys to go and study. For those that use all this in between looking type of time frames, it's for you to go and study and know that and know and check if you use 2 hour, if you use 3 hour, if you use 1.5 hour, blah 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 blah. So for me, that was a 4 hour structure, right? If you go lower, it's also a sweep. What does that tell you? Look again. This is like the fourth back-to-back example. It's just unfortunate that they happen back to back. And then if you're taking all these trades, you'll be feeling cursed. Oh my God, trading is not for me. I'm in a losing streak. I don't believe in losing streak. I don't believe. If I take it, I won't say it's normal. It's losing streak. God forbid. I'll go and sit down and find out what I'm doing wrong. The first thing I'll do is to ask myself, Zara, what did you do wrong? What did you miss? At that time, it was your A plus setup, right? Fine. Oh, yeah, go and learn. What did you miss? What was there a rule that you didn't have before? Blah, 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 blah. So if you take a loss back to back, something you are probably doing something wrong, or you may not be doing anything wrong. It could be that you didn't know, you didn't have that rule before. I mean, you can't know every single thing in 1 month, or you as market keeps doing and keeps going, you keep learning. So go and ask yourself, is there something you missed? That blah blah blah. If you open your mind, you will find out why. So again, if you traded last week, if you traded this month, you feel like your cost that trading is not for blah blah to kill your morale, kill your energy. The same way all these bad losses are coming in back to back, the same way one day wins will come in back to back. So prepare your mind and always show up every single day. So look at this nice type 2 sweep. Then instead of a break, a sweep, right? And then um on the lower is a 4 hour structure. So on the 1 hour is also a sweep. What does that tell you? Price has gone to into discounts. It's most likely not going to make a higher high. I've said it there. Sometimes it will make the higher high. That's lucky for you. But most times, guys, I've shown you guys back to back examples of how this stuff works. It will do like this. So of it to make a higher high, to reverse, take you out. You feel like you're cursed. And then now look at the main buy now is happening. The main buys are happening. But I don't even know if whether this main buy itself will take out the side. Me, I don't know. I don't know. But I know we'll be bearish as soon as this low gets taken out. So it could be that price, want to do this and keep buying. I don't know. But what I know is if you have a setup around there, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't force it. Don't pray. Any setup that you enter, you're praying to God, God forgive me, please help me. Let me just hit this TP. Just know that you actually did something wrong. Now let's go back to German 30. German 30 for me was a lot, and then I really trusted that setup so much. Because again, it was an A plus setup to me. It was perfect. But at that time, again, a rule I didn't know. So it was a loss, and I was like, what happened? I was like, what happened? It was so clean. So, price did this and then took out this high, then broke this low with a body close on the daily. I was like, confirm, we are selling. We're bearish and we are we're bearish on the daily time frame, and we should sell to discount of the weekly because we were counter trading weekly. Now, this rule is the opposite of that other rule I just told you guys about going lower. Now, if you want to know or if you want to confirm a valid market structure shift, right? If you want to confirm a valid market structure shift, if you have a market structure shift, this is a daily structure, right? My shift was on the daily. If you have a daily market structure shift and you go higher, instead of it to also be with a body close, it's also a sweep. Bro, that your market structure shift is likely going to fail. It's likely. This rule is the opposite of this one is for market structure shifts. That other one is for entries. So I think I've said a lot and enough, but throughout this month, these are the few lessons I picked for myself, and these are the moving on. Obviously, I'm going to be applying them and be careful and be very, very careful. Then the setups that are good, those assholes, they won't even tag you in. I don't know why trading is like that. I don't know. I don't know. You see this NZD JP, yeah, NZD CHF buy, it was so nice and so perfect to me. I was ready to take it with my full chest. So the type 1 hour. Sorry, a type 2 1 hour. Continuation, everything was just there. Guess what? Swap candle came in, did nonsense. On MT5, price never came back, and then, you know, price already hit my target. So when price came back like this, God forbid, I'm not going to force it and take it. Even though it was very obvious to me that, price is coming here. For me, like it was obvious. But because I didn't take the first main sell, I'm not going to come and start, forcing anything. What if price hits my target and reverses? That one day. So you guys, that's that for that. So I think yeah, I mean, I hope you guys learn one or two from this stuff and keep studying. If you take a loss, don't cry. Don't, unless it's a bad loss, you can't cry. But if it's a good loss, just be open-minded. Maybe take a day break. I don't mean take a day break from trading, no. Like take a day like to cool off your emotional head and all that. Then come back later and study. Okay? Don't just assume it's the market. Don't just assume it's Donald Trump and all that news follows. Me, I'm still scared of Donald Trump news, but I studied what happened this month, and most of the trades they were not like I mean for me they're not bad losses because as at then I didn't have the rule. The only loss I would say maybe was somehow a bad loss was is this GU own. As at then, I mean this because I had this rule, just that I didn't take it seriously because I mean I didn't really see so much examples, and so I just felt okay, have this rule but trade it. Now I've seen this stuff, and I know studying but before, like when I was studying, like me and my guys we saw this stuff happen a lot, but just I don't know why I didn't take it seriously. Maybe I just didn't know or I didn't think about it. I don't even know. But this is the only loss that it was a bad loss. But I'm still not paying about it. I'm not paying. The only time I will be paying, I will not forget or forgive myself is when like a trade that me I know as I'm going in is a bad loss and I still go and take it.